Namaskar, everyone. I welcome you all on behalf of Bharat Niti Pratishthan for today's webinar on DMK's assault on Sanatan Dharma. As we all know, recently, senior leader of DMK, Udayanidhi, who is son of Chief Minister Stalin, made some atrocious remarks, comments about Sanatan Dharma. And then one of his party member, another colleague from the Stalin government, another minister, he also made a remark that India alliance formed recently by the opposition parties is formed to demolish, destroy Sanatan Dharma. Now, these comments have definitely disturbed large population of Hindus all over the world. People, even who are not Hindus, they are also angry and disturbed by these comments, which are totally uncalled for, which reflect the ignorance and prejudice of the politicians who have been making these comments. Now, the politicians may have been making these comments to gain some political mileage in Tamil Nadu, but the impact of such comments can be far-reaching. It totally weakens and harms the social fabric, the relationship between people who believe in, who trust, who have faith, who have respect for the eternal values which we call as Sanatan Dharma. Dharma itself means the values. Dharma is not a kind of, you can say, a restricted mode of worship only. And without understanding what Dharma is and what Sanatan is, or what Sanatan Dharma teaches about, or what Sanatan Dharma allows and permits and encourages, the kind of comments coming from few politicians. One minister from Bihar has also been making similar comments. So today we are focusing on why this sudden assault on Sanatan Dharma has been launched by Dravid Munnetra Kazhagam in Tamil Nadu, the ruling party in Tamil Nadu, which has a long history of making similar comments or taking political agendas which are not in sync with the eternal values, the cultural heritage of our nation, our old civilization. We are very lucky to have Professor P. Kanak Sabhapati ji with us today. We welcome you, sir. Professor Kanak Sabhapati ji is a professor, author, writer involved in India-centric research from the native perspectives. Known for his pioneering field studies in different economic centers, he was a key member of the team that undertook the study of the Gujarat kite business on the invitation of Gujarat government during 2003-2004. After obtaining doctorate as a UGC research fellow, he was initially associated with the stock markets briefly. Thereafter, he got into academics. He writes in English and Tamil. One of his books, entitled Indian Models of Economy, Business and Management, is considered a major initiative towards Indianizing the education system and used in the premier educational institutions. One of his other books, Prosperous India, has been translated into different Indian languages. He has also written for CBSE, New Delhi. Professor Kanak Sabhapati has been associated with different universities and research bodies at the national and state level, and was a member and chairman in charge of the Indian Council of Social Science Research, New Delhi, ICSSR. Earlier, he was the director of State Level Training and Research Institute promoted by Tamil Nadu government and president of an agricultural cooperative bank. Professor Sabhapati is the secretary and trustee, Dr. Syama Prasad Mukherjee Research Foundation, New Delhi, and director of Tamil Nadu-based Indian Economic Cultural Center. In addition to that, he is vice president of BJP Tamil Nadu state. An author, an academic, a thinker par excellence, who is also handling socio-political responsibilities. We are lucky to have you here, sir. Over to you, sir. Professor Kanak Sabhapati ji, please enlighten us why DMK has launched this, what is the history, what is the politics, and what could be the you can say implications of such comments, and why they are wrong and where they are wrong. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Kuldeep ji. It's my pleasure and privilege to be part of this discussion through our prestigious India Policy Foundation think tank. It's my pleasure to see elders like Professor Sheila Roy and others. So today we are going to discuss an important issue that is disturbing the minds of people not only in Tamil Nadu but Hindus or those who follow Sanatana Dharma the world over, because of the recent comments particularly because of the recent comments made by the important leaders in DMK. You know, it all started on September 2nd, 2023. The leftist group called Progressive Writers and Artists Association, it's a leftist NGO, they organized a 3-day meeting conference in Chennai. When he spoke, he said, Sanatana Dharma should not just be opposed, but it should be eradicated, like the way we eradicate mosquitoes, corona, dengue. We should eradicate Sanatana Dharma also. So immediately there were responses from the public, not just from Tamil Nadu, from all across the world. So people started questioning him. But very soon, the senior DMK MP, Mr. Raja, who was earlier Union Minister also, he said, whatever Udayanidhi Stalin said was a mild statement. It should be more serious. So in that connection, he said, Sanatana Dharma should be like, it should be treated like leprosy or AIDS, HIV, because it is a curse on the Indian society. Then after a few days, he again said, it's a menace, not just to India, but to the entire world. So this is how they have been saying over the last few days. So as a result, now this has come up for discussion, and particularly in Tamil Nadu, there are serious discussions, debates going on. It was in power for almost 20 years before we got our independence. Justice Party consisted of people from wealthy families, but they have one agenda, that is anti-Brahmin agenda. So E.V. Ramasamy Naikar, shortly called as EVR, he was part of the Justice Party. In fact, earlier he was part of the Congress. He was a Congress leader. But he came out of Congress in 1925 saying that Congress served only Brahminical interests. So he came out and he founded a movement called Self-Respect Movement. This was how he started his career, political or public career. Then he was part of the Justice Party, even though he was not in the government as such. Then in 1939, he became the head of the Justice Party. In 1944, he founded what we call today as Dravidar Kalagam. Dravidar, by Dravidar, they mean all South Indians, Kannadigas, Andhra, Malayalis, and Tamilians. So they call them people as Dravidars. So Dravidar Kalagam, Kalagam largely meaning an association. So he founded that party in the year organization. It was not just a party, it was an organization, social movement they call it, in 1944. So the late Chief Minister, Mr. Karunanidhi, and the first Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, Mr. Annadurai, they were all part of that Dravidar Kalagam. They were all members, and later they held some senior positions also in Dravidar Kalagam, DK. So he was trained by EVR. And what is the background of EVR? I will put it in a nutshell about in 5-6 points. The EVR is basically an anti-Indian. He was a secessionist. He wanted separate Dravida Nadu. Dravidan land. He appealed to the British not to give independence to India. He also said, even if you give independence to India, please see that this Tamil region, Tamil Nadu, remains under British rule. So he was completely a separatist, a secessionist. And when India got independence, he announced it as a day of mourning, day of mourning. And he burnt the Indian flag. So this is his background. He is a completely anti-Indian. And his second characteristics we are all familiar now. He is anti-Hindu. He burnt all our revered scriptures, Ramayana, all our scriptures. He broke idols, Lord Ganesha, Lord Ram. So this was his practice in the 1950s, 60s and all. And he was a racist also, because he is completely anti-Brahmin. He said, openly he had said in many places, but one of his popular usage was, when you see a snake and a Brahmin on the street, kill the Brahmin first. We can deal with the snake later. So this is how he used to say, and it is all in record. And he was against North Indians also, because he says North Indians come from the Aryan race. So we are separate. Tamilians do not belong to this race. So he was against North Indians. He was against Hindi also. In fact, the today's present and even today, DMK is against Hindi because it all started from EVR. And his fourth characteristics, if I can say so, is that he was an anarchist. He never had any respect for law. He had always had contempt for law. As I said earlier, he burnt the Indian flag, he burnt the constitution, and he never had any respect for all these things. And he was critical of all the senior leaders. He was critical of Mahatma Gandhi. He was critical of Congress. He used all bad words. And as far as Tamil is concerned, Tamil culture, Tamil history, he never had any respect. In fact, we all know Tamil is one of the greatest languages of the entire world. But he said Tamil is a barbaric language. It's written. He himself had said it many times. Tamil is a barbaric language. And he insulted all the ancient books of Tamil. Tirukural, which is considered as one of the greatest works in Bharat, he said it's a human waste. You give it in a silver plate. So Tirukural is a human waste placed in a silver plate. So because it is there in a silver plate, I don't have any respect. And many of you may be knowing there is one Sangam literature called Silappadigaram. This Silappadigaram speaks about Kannagi, a lady who came to know, when she came to know that the Madurai king in those days, Neduncheliyan, he made an error of judgment and sentenced her husband to death. She went and fought for justice, and even today she is respected as a goddess, and she is a highly venerated lady, goddess in Tamil Nadu. And a book was written on her life. This is called Silappadigaram. It is one of the 18 ancient Sangha literary works. And he called this Silappadigaram as the story of a prostitute. So this is how he respected women. She called Kannagi and the ladies as prostitute. And that is how he used the words. Kamba Ramayanam. Ramayana we know. In Tamil Nadu, we have Ramayana wrote by a great Tamil figure called Kambar. This is called Kamba Ramayanam. This Kamba Ramayanam is very popular among the Tamilians here for the language he has used, for the story that we study and all. But he insulted Kamba Ramayanam also. So this is how uh, he always used to treat Tamil culture and then Tamil literary works. And he is completely a casteist. People say he worked for eradication of caste. He is completely a casteist because all his words will show. For example, when somebody asked him, why is it that prices of rice are increasing in Tamil Nadu? They said now the scheduled caste community fellows, they have used taking rice, and that is the reason why rice prices are increasing. In fact, I am putting it very mildly. He used the caste names, scheduled caste names, Pallas and Parayas. So when Pallas and Parayas eat rice, what do you expect? Prices will rise. Then later, when somebody asked why cloth prices are increasing, they said when the women belonging to Palla and Paraya castes, they began to wear now the upper garments, we call them Ravikai, upper garments. What do you expect? So that is the reason why prices are increasing. And this is how he treated uh, uh, people from backward classes and then scheduled caste communities. He's completely a casteist. Not only that, he was a misogynist. He wanted to teach a lesson to his wife in his younger days. What lesson? His wife was regularly going to temples. In fact, even now in Erode, I belong to Coimbatore district, Western Tamil Nadu. Our adjacent district is Erode district. In that district, there is a Vishnu temple, big temple. That temple was managed by EVR's family only, his parents and grandparents. So they were all managing. Even today, if we go there, we can see the writings on the wall. So his wife used to go regularly, like any other Tamil Hindu woman, regularly to the temple. He did not like it. So what did he do? He sent his minions to go to the temple and harass her sexually so that she would not go to temple regularly. So this is what he did to stop his own wife from going to the temple. And he lost his wife Nagammai earlier, and he married his own quote-unquote daughter, because this Maniammai was with him as his own daughter for many years. And at the age of 70, when he was 70, she was, if I remember right, 32 or 33, he married her. So this is how he was leading his life. No principles, and whatever he practiced was something based absolutely on nonsense. So this is how he was living. And whatever he taught, if you read it, you will come to know that he is completely an anti-Indian, anti-Tamil, anti-Brahmin, completely anti-Hindu. But he is regarded as the father of Dravidian movement. This DMK came out of DK in 1959. The first chief minister of Tamil Nadu, who was the first general secretary of DMK, he came out of Dravidar Kadagam, DK, in 1959. Because of their estranged relationship due to different factors, he came out. DK was not in favor of contesting elections, and DK was always for separate Tamil land. So this DMK people, leaders, later DMK leaders, led by Annadurai, Karunanidhi and all, they wanted to contest the elections under the Constitution of India. So they came out and formed a party called DMK, Dravida Munnetra Kalagam. That means Dravidar Development Association. So they formed this in 1959. And Mr. Annadurai, who became the chief minister in 1967, first chief minister of Tamil Nadu, non-Congress chief minister, he was its first general secretary. In fact, they kept the president post, chairman post vacant. Always they kept one seat vacant because it was reserved for EVR. So Mr. C.N. Annadurai became the General Secretary. So since 1959, they started working under the administrative constitutional setup. And Annadurai said, now we believe in one God. Onre kulam oruvane devan. That's what he used to say. There is one race, one God. So I believe in this. So unlike Periyar, EVR, they always call him Periyar. Periyar is a respectable word used by them. Periyar in Tamil Nadu, in Tamil, Periyavar means elderly person, respectable person. So they themselves give these adjectives before their names. And they call him as Tandai Periyar, father. Tandai means father Periyar. His name is only EVR, E.V. Ramaswamy Naikar. So in 1967, after 8 years of forming DMK party, they came to power. They came to power for various reasons, because then Congress government led by Mr. Paktavachalam, they were facing some difficulties due to price rise and all. And Rajaji, the senior most leader and one of the most respectable figures in our Indian history, he somehow, because of his antipathy towards Congress, he joined with this DMK people. As a result, they came to power in 1967. So since then, DMK is remaining as a major force in Tamil Nadu, even though now their strength has begun to decline. So 1967, Annadurai became the chief minister. As I said earlier, he was not completely openly against this God, our belief in God. He said, Onre kulam oruvane devan. There is one God, we all belong to one race. That is how it was going. But he died in the year 1969 due to cancer. Then Mr. Karunanidhi, superseding almost 4 or 5 of his seniors, through trick, using his cunning approach, he became the leader and he became the chief minister. So from 1969 till his death about 3-4 years back, he remained as the DMK chief, and he was the chief minister 5 times, even though his government was dismissed also. But he remained as the DMK chief. So as long as he was the chief minister, he always used to criticize Hinduism, but in a milder form. Once he said a few years back, DMK means, Hindu means thief. Then when people started questioning him, he said, no, I said it in a different context. I did not actually mean it. But in his heart of heart, or DMK's overall approach is largely driven by this DK attitude, anti-Hindu approach only. Even during Karunanidhi's periods, there are times when his own senior leaders would say, wherever there is a need, then we will go and ask for separate Tamil Nadu. So this is how they used to say. But they were all completely against Brahmins. This we all know. If I go into the history, it will take time. But during the times of EVR, Hindu Brahmins were harassed in many places. And harassment took place in different forms. People wear sacred thread. Different communities wear. But whenever they see Brahmins, many times they come in without wearing shirts and all. When they go to temples, they used to cut the threads. And similarly, long hairs they used to grow, particularly pujaris and senior priests and all. They used to cut openly and take pride, saying that we have cut so many Brahmins threads, etc., sacred threads. So this is how they used to treat. And there were villages in which Brahmins were thrown out in the 1950s and 60s. They were thrown out. They will not allow these Brahmin community people to live in peace. They used to throw stones at their houses. When there are 4, 5, 6 houses, so what would they do? So this is how it has been happening. But in the last 40, 50 years, uh, such kind of happenings are not there largely. But even then, they used to harass, always criticize Brahmins in public, and they use derogatory language. They don't use the word Brahmin. They call them as Parpanar. Parpanar is a derogatory word for Brahmins. So that is how they used to do it. And in all cinema jokes, wherever we see, they used to use this word only, Parpanar. And whatever their practices, our Hindu ancient practices, they demean. And that is how we were living. And many of you, almost all of you may be knowing, we were not allowed to study Hindi in our schools. Sanskrit, absolutely not allowed. Until today, in government schools and colleges, that is what is happening, even though now in the last 15, 20 years, things are changing because so many private institutions, private colleges, private schools are there. So all the youngsters are going and studying there. Hindi to a large extent, Sanskrit also. But for about 40, 50 years, this is how they used to treat. And particularly after DMK came to power in 2021, under Mr. Stalin's leadership, things have changed from bad to worse. Earlier, Karunanidhi, being a seasoned politician, he used to manage somehow, even though he was doing it openly also. And he also used to attend the meetings of Christians, meetings of Muslims, other communities. And there he used to criticize Hindu customs, Hindu faith, Hindu beliefs and all. But he also used to maintain some close kind of relationship with our own Hindu CAs, saints, etc. That was his method of approach. But after DMK came to power now in 2021, Stalin's approach is somewhat very bad, in the sense that he has allowed these anti-Hindu forces to openly denigrate Hinduism. He also goes to the Islamic and then Muslim ceremonies, whether it is Christmas, other functions, and used to take part in their functions regularly. There, while participating, while speaking, there he will criticize Hinduism also and then come back. This is how he is doing now. And particularly these Christian missionaries, they are more vocal. Some of you may be knowing that 1.5 years back, there is a person from Nagarkoil, Kanyakumari, which is largely that particular district, has about 40-45% of Christian population. He openly said, I don't want my feet to touch Bharata Mata. So that is why I wear shoes, because Bharata Mata is not holy. So I don't want my feet to touch this land. So this is what he said, and he openly threatened our Honorable Prime Minister and Home Minister using their names, Prime Minister Modi and Home Minister Amit Shah. So this is how they are doing. And later, our Congress president, when he was on Bharat Jodo Yatra in Tamil Nadu, he went and met this Christian priest. He spent time with him also. So these people, they very often they come and criticize our dharma, criticize our scriptures, etc. And DMK particularly, after 2021, his DMK senior leaders, they used every opportunity to criticize our dharma. There is a speaker, assembly speaker by name Mr. Appavu. Appavu last month in one of his meetings, in a convocation address in a college in Thoothukudi district, he said only 7% of the Indians were able to study earlier because of Sanatana Dharma. And Udayinidhi also, during his September 2nd address, he wanted to eradicate Sanatana Dharma. He also said, Sanatana Dharma does not want us to study, does not want us to get educated, us meaning non-Brahmins. He said this. And Assembly Speaker Appavu last year in another Christian college in Tiruchi, when he went there, he said, it is the Christians who gave education to all the people in Tamil Nadu. But for Christians, we would have remained as a state like Bihar, because they always say Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, they are all underdeveloped. In fact, recently, another DMK leader, he is an academic also, he is the spokesperson of the party, he said, Sanatana Dharma is prospering in only those states where education is less. You take UP, Bihar, there is Sanatana Dharma is flourishing because people are not educated. And this is how they say. And Mr. Appavu, the speaker, in his Tiruchi address in a college, he also said it is the Christian missionaries who brought growth to Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is grown today because of Christian missionaries. And but for them, our state would not have developed. So this is what he said. So now in the last 2 years, people are coming openly saying that Sanatana Dharma is responsible for all the evils in the society. And when we ask them, they quote Varnasana Dharma. And when we tell them Varnasana Dharma is not the entire Sanatana Dharma, and even the concept of Sanatana Dharma, Varnasana Dharma is something different, they won't accept it. So they will give all the reasons for it. In fact, a few days back, one of the other DMK leader was saying, even this NEET was imposed because the Delhi central government wanted to impose Sanatana Dharma, and that is the reason why they are very particular about this NEET. So they give all types of reasons whenever they criticize Sanatana Dharma. Now, apart from these people, these DMK leaders, all their supporters, they also speak against Hindus, Hindu Dharma, temples, etc. There is a party called Vidudalai Chiruthaigal Katchi, VCK, whose leader is an MP now, Thirumavalavan, Mr. Thirumavalavan. So this Thirumavalavan again speaks use all bad languages to speak against Hindus. And he particularly participates, he has made it as a regular practice to go and speak against Hindus in the meetings of Muslims and then Christians. So they use all bad words. Even this DMK Raja, he uses very bad words. 1 year back, he said, all those, this backward community, scheduled caste community people, are all sons of prostitutes as per Sanatana Dharma. According to him, Sanatana Dharma says those who are Sutras are all children of prostitutes. This is what he has been saying. No action by the state government, no action by the DMK chief, in spite of repeated appeals by people. Mr. Stalin has never taken any action. We all know, even in this kind of hate speeches, Supreme Court, I was told, has given a direction. Supreme Court had said that you need not expect affected people, to come and give complaints in police stations or courts. The state has the authority to take action against these culprits. But so far, in spite of repeated appeal by many of us, by different Hindus, Stalin has not taken any action against them. In fact, you may be aware that Stalin has justified it in an indirect way. Whatever had said by Udayanithi Stalin, he has justified it. So the situation now is very, very bad in Tamil Nadu. They are going and completely attacking Hindu practices. But here we have to see one important aspect. All of us know we have temples for different stars, nakshatras, different rasis. They are there only in Tamil Nadu. And there are temples with 2,000, 3,000 years of history. There are temples like, say, big temple built by Rajaraja Sola, one of the greatest temples in the world. So we have all these things. But this Tamil Nadu government, they don't manage it properly. Since the days of Karunanidhi, they have been looting temples. I'll give just one or two examples. You know, earlier, government itself has accepted that 30 years back, that there are 5,25,000 acres of land that belong to temples, donated by Bhaktas, donated by earlier by Rajas, well-wishers, etc., etc. 5,25,000 acres. Recently, 1 or 2 years back, government admitted that they have only 4,75,000 acres. So almost 50,000 acres of land are missing, admitted by the state. We do not know where. There is no record. You know, these are all occupied by the Dravidian party themselves, leaders themselves, or their own minions in different parts of Tamil Nadu. This is just one aspect. And they don't follow court directions as far as temples are concerned. In fact, High Court has given directions on many occasions as to how you have to manage temples. You will be surprised to know that 50,000 crores worth of money is spending to the government, HRNC's department, Hindu Religious and Charitable Endowments department, from different tenants. You know, our temples have buildings, have huge assets. So they are paying rent to the different temples. You know, of course, this HRNC department is collecting it. One report says that 50,000 crore worth of money is spending if we take the amount properly, but no action. Now, you know, there are very many temples that attract huge crowds, like Palani, Lord Muruga temple. There are many. You know, people give donations. People give money in hundis, thousands of crores money. But this money is used by government officials and the ministers to buy cars for them and you know, to do whatever they like. And these people, DMK fellows, they don't believe in God. But whenever the birthdays of their leaders are coming, they use temple funds to give annadanam, to give food. And this is how funds are being misused. So here people are going to courts against this. People are fighting. And all of you may be knowing that the idols that were stolen from India, majority are from Tamil Nadu, because they don't take proper care. We have idols belonging to, you know, BCE, before Common Era, 2,000 years back, 1,000 years back. They don't keep any record also. Former IG, Inspector General of this idol wing, one, Mr. Pon Manikavel, he was an IPS officer. Now he is fighting for the stolen idols. So this is how in Tamil Nadu, even though they say that they don't want Hinduism, all their temples are under their control. So this is a very serious issue, and the issue has gone to an extent that they don't even respect people, honor people who put vibhuti like me. You know, we have our chest prodigy. All of you may be knowing now. His name is Prajnananda. He became popular because he went into the finals of the World Chess Championship. Till he received this, till he went for this World Championship final, no DMK leader used his name, because you can always see him wearing vibhuti. So this is the extent to which DMK people treat Hindus. Once when Karunanidhi was alive, he asked one of his ministers, I think minister or MLA, when he was going with Kumkum, He asked him, is it blood? Are you using blood? Is blood coming now? But in spite of it, because of MGR and Jayalalitha, these ADMK leaders, of course, they use all these things. And particularly when Madam Jayalalitha was the chief minister, you can see all the MLAs, all the ministers with Rupudi as well as Kungum. That continues even today. So as far as ADMK leaders are concerned, they use this. Even in the case of DMK, almost all the leaders, I would say almost all their leaders, visit temples, and their family members are pious devotees of different lords. Even day before yesterday, one of the two senior ministers, one Mr. Nehru and another person, Mr. Panir Selvam, they went to one of the ancient temples, and we saw all photographs. So when people asked him, he said, we went to pray for the continuance of Stalin as the chief minister forever. So that is the reason why we went to temple. So even these people go to temples. We all know that the chief minister's wife, Madam Durga Stalin, is a very pious lady. She goes to temple regularly. She makes it a practice. She has made a practice to make offerings to gods. She visits temples regularly. And even when chief minister goes out of Chennai, she goes with him. And then he goes to temples when he was attending government and political functions. This is how they do it at the family level. But when they come out, they will always say, we are against Hindus. So one major reason is the appeasement of minorities, which is what they do. Their people suspect they are largely under the control of minorities, because whenever they go to Christian meetings, they say, it is your government. It is because of you we are all here. And we all know since the days of Mr. Karunanidhi, they are lenient towards the religious fundamentalists. Last year, October 2022, there was a car bomb blast here in Coimbatore in front of one of the ancient Shiva temples, just in front. The car was apparently going to a busy street, because next day was Diwali. They wanted the bomb to blast the bomb so that, it could result in loss of lives of so many people and all. But fortunately, the car broke down in front of Lord Shiva's temple. And the person who was driving, the main culprit, Mubin, he also died on the spot. So when this news came out, we made an appeal to the government to see that whether this is just a car cylinder, because we said we suspect it to be international terrorist act. This is what they refused. They said it is just a car cylinder blast. Even today they say that. But after a few months, after NIA came and then studied about it, undertook the case, now they have come out and now they say very clearly it is a terror. It was planned as a terrorist attack, and ISI involvement is there. So now case is going on and a few are arrested also. But DMK always remain soft towards these terrorist groups. So this is their natural tendency. But what is very unfortunate is this: now they have begun openly attacking Hinduism. Openly attacking Hinduism. 4 days back in Tiruvarur, which is Karunanidhi, Mr. Stalin's native district, Tiruvarur is known for Lord Tyagaraja's temple. One of the most ancient temples is there. And we have the largest car, what we call Ther, which we drive during important occasions annually with the Lord at the top. So Tiruvarur Ther is the largest Ther in Tamil Nadu. So in that district, Tiruvarur district, DMK district secretary, who are the most powerful people at the district level, this person is an MLA also. His name is Kalai Chelvan, Pundi Kalai Chelvan. He writes a letter to the principal of the Government Arts College in that district, And next day, the principal of the college asks his girl students to go and participate in a meeting organized by DMK in their headquarters outside the college. What was the topic? The topic was anti-Sanatana. So these girl students were asked to go and speak in DMK meeting on anti-Sanatana. They were asked to share their views, anti-Sanatana views. So when this news came out, when we saw the letters, immediately we started opposing it. But next day, the principal withdrew the letter. But no further action was taken. So we again opposed it. And now today there is a news that the director of college education has sought an explanation from the principal. In fact, I sought the resignation of the director, minister, higher education minister, Mr. Ponmudi. Our Dr. Kuldeepji, in his introductory address, he said that one senior leader openly said that the INDI alliance, INDA alliance, was formed with the objective of defeating, eradicating Sanatana Dharma. That statement was made by the higher education minister of Tamil Nadu, Dr. Ponmudi. He himself was a college teacher earlier, but now he is involved in serious court cases. You know, these DMK leaders, all of them have amassed so much wealth beyond their expected income. As a result of that, you know, his office was raided also by enforcement directorate very recently. But it was the same person, he's a senior leader, who made that statement that INDA alliance was formed with the objective of defeating Sanatana Dharma. So this is the situation in which Tamil Nadu is there today. Now, echoing the sentiments of Udayanidhi Stalin and others, Mr. Priyank Kharge has spoken in the same language, and some other leaders, as Dr. Kuldeepji was mentioning from Bihar and other places, they have also made these statements. But this is a very serious issue now. We have to defeat this. Of course, in Tamil Nadu, all Sanatanis, all people, now they are joining together. Even DMK second level, third level leaders themselves are realizing that this is going to prove very dangerous for the Hindu society. Because even today, more than 85% of the people in Tamil Nadu are Hindus. DMK chief himself has admitted that in his party, 90% of the cadres belong to Hindus. So this is the position. So even when Hindus are in majority, 80-85%, if they go on demeaning, denigrating Hindus day in and day out, it is not going to be healthy for the society. And whenever we ask them, they say that when we mean Sanatana Dharma, when we say Sanatana Dharma, it means only Brahmins. So we are opposing Brahmins only. We are opposing casteism only. But they are not against casteism at all. If you see the background of DMK, no scheduled caste community person has occupied top seat. Nobody can become the president. Now it is a family party. For about 49 years after the death of Mr. Annadurai, Mr. Karunanidhi was the DMK president. After him, now his son, Mr. Stalin, is the president of the party. Now, even though there are many senior leaders, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin is considered as the heir, legal heir. Everybody accepts it in DMK. Similarly, at the party level also, government level also, they give representation to scheduled caste community people. But in Tamil Nadu, unlike in the case of central government, if you see these 2-3 people, they will always be given only minor portfolios like Khadi and village industries or minister in charge of scheduled caste communities. This is, they will not give finance department, industry department, education department, any department. Even when we take the district secretaries of DMK, which is very important in their party structure, you will not find many people from scheduled caste community background. And this is the way they treat the scheduled caste community. But when we ask them, they always say, we stand for social justice. Similarly, the way they treat women, this is also, they don't give good representation to them. We all know they don't give representation, but they always say this. So their foundations are built on false narratives. Somehow they have succeeded all these years. I think now it is going to change. There is an awakening in the minds of the people, but we also should not keep quiet. We have to educate the motives of these people, educate their background. Then only, we can fight these DMK forces. DMK has to go out of Tamil Nadu, has to be thrown out of Tamil Nadu politics, public life, through democratic means. Of course, their expiry periods are nearing, but even before that, it is the duty of Tamilians, all of us Indians, Hindus across the world, to see that this government goes. If we allow it, then it will be a menace to the Tamil Hindu society. Even though they say they speak for Tamil Nadu, they never accept Tamil as seriously. You all know, because they always use Dravidam. Why Dravidam? When Karnataka people, Telugu people, Malayalam people, they don't accept Dravidam. Why are you saying you are a Dravidam man? No answers from them. Because they don't want to accept the greatness of Tamil Nadu. If you accept the greatness of Tamil culture, greatness of Tamil as a language, then Hinduism comes there. You cannot separate Tamil without Hindus. Sanatana Dharma. Because Tamil as a language, as perhaps the oldest language in the world, is kept alive all these years because of Sanatana Dharma. All literary works in Tamil Nadu, almost all, are related to deities, Hinduism, etc. If you see the Tamil literary works, all works related to Hinduism only. That is why they don't accept. EVR never accepted Kambaramayanam. EVR never expected Tirukural, never expected Silappadigaram, all literary works. These people, they may not say it openly, but they don't accept. They do one indirect thing. When Mr. Karunanidhi was alive, there was an initiative from the Christian groups saying that Tiruvalluvar was a Christian. And they wrote a book. And Karunanidhi gave an introduction to that book. So one way they see this, other way they are doing it. This Aryan-Dravidian divide was originally devised by one Caldwell here in Tamil Nadu. He came to India, Tamil Nadu, in the 19th century, if I remember right, in 1818. He was a missionary. He was here in Tamil Nadu till his death. He wrote a book called Comparative Grammar of Dravidian Languages. He wrote many other books. In that book, he said, he created a division among Tamilians and the so-called North Indians. Tamilians and the Dravidians and the Brahmins. It was he who said first, Brahmins are dominating Tamil society. All the rest are oppressors. So we have to see this. So these people, DMK, even today, are parroting the views of Christian missionaries only. We all know this Aryan-Dravidian controversy is dead. Nobody accepts. Even Europeans don't accept it. But in DMK meetings, we can see they will be speaking about this Aryan-Dravidian. All Brahmins are North Indians. All Brahmins are Aryans. All North Indians are Aryans. So we are all different. And we belong to Tamil race and all. Even today, it is happening. So this missionary impact, European missionary impact, is still there among these people. So now we have to tell the people that, this is the truth and you have to get rid of DMK. So we have to fight at the intellectual as well as at the field level also, which our people have started doing it. I hope and pray that we will be getting very soon a government that protects Sanatana Dharma. This is what Tamilians want. So we expect that in the next few years, even at the political level, there is going to be a great change. We are working towards it. But We cannot take it lightly. Our work is very important. We have to work very, very hard. We cannot say things will change just like that. No, we have to work very hard. There are answers for everything in Tamil Nadu itself. Tamil Nadu itself. In fact, in that eradicates Sanatana conference, Udayanidhi also said, as I mentioned, the Sanatana Dharma doesn't want us to get educated. I gave him all the details. I have written articles in Tamil and English saying that, how after the Britishers had arrived, what was the education system here? In fact, Britishers themselves have recorded it. Madras Presidency, when Thomas Monroe was the Governor General, between 1822 and 1825, he himself had asked all the district collectors to give details of education. So in that, if you see the details, you will come to know he himself had openly admitted that every village in Madras Presidency had a school. Madras Presidency in those days included Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, and parts of Orissa also. He said for every 1,500, 500 to 1,000 persons, there was a school. Not just that. They say that always education was dominated by Brahmins, and no backward class community man, scheduled caste community man was allowed. I took Tamil Nadu, the present day Tamil land. In those days, it came under 9 districts. Today, we have 38, 39 districts. So we made a calculation, and I have written that the number of boys and girls in college schools in those days in different districts, if you take non-Brahmin as a category, it varied from 78% to 90%. So all the boys and girls, students who studied in schools in the early 19th century belong to 78 to 90% belong to the non-Brahmin category. So there are caste-wise details. Similarly, how many Muslim students have studied? Details are there. So we have shown them that Sanatana Dharma, during Sanatana period, education was available to all. It was only the Britishers, colonialists, who destroyed the education system. So we are giving responses to them, but they are going on to different meeting and parroting this. So till today, Udayanidhi made the statement on September 2nd. So even after so many days, now almost 2 weeks, now, he has not repented for it, and DMK chief has not clarified for it. So all are saying that the Sanatana Dharma is responsible for all the ills of the society. So this is the present situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for giving very detailed and enlightening analysis and information right from the origin of Dravid Kadgam, and then Dravid Munitra Kadgam, Karunanidhi, Stalin, and now Udayanidhi. Particularly how they are influenced by what EVR preached about, or EVR propagated about, or they spread the propaganda, probably under the influence of Christian missionaries. And why I can very well understand why certain individuals were propagated by the missionaries or by the British government in the coastal towns, particularly in the areas where very important ports were located, to demand succession from India, to not join India as a union. And it was a very you can say far-sighted plan by the British to separate Karachi, to separate the Peshawar airport, to separate Dhaka port from the, you can say, unified India, divide India, so that at least they could take away, they could have some influence over these important strategic trade centers and ports. And why always we hear about, because Tamil Nadu is at a very strategic location in the Indian Ocean, and it serves the interest of all anti-India forces to spread that kind of anti-India mentality, anti-Hindi, anti-Hindu mentality. And somehow they dream about, you can say, succeeding in separating or dividing so-called Dravid land or Tamil Nadu from the mainland, or what we call the larger India. But as you rightly mentioned, the roots, the cultural roots and the linkages of Tamil language, of Tamil people, of Tamil history, Tamil civilization, that is very much based on uh,
Yes.
Sanatan Dharma,
Yes.
based on Hinduism, based on
Yes.
whatever we have, you can say, in all parts of India, that culture, that those religious places, and why a person from, whether it is from Kashmir or from Rajasthan or from Arunachal Pradesh, wants to visit Rameshwar, wants to see the temples in Tamil Nadu, and vice versa also. Why people from Tamil Nadu, they want to go to Badrinath or they want to go to Dwarka. So the linkages are very strong. These politicians and their masters, you can say, sitting in different countries, they keep on, you can say, instigating them, keep on financing them, and create a divide between some Tamil people and the rest of India. And we all know there are political players in communist parties,
Yes.
in different other political organizations, which also want to benefit by this divide, and they also want to, you can say, put you can say, more fuel into the fire. But you have given us a very detailed picture. Asad Ahmed ji.
I am Asad and I teach history at Delhi University.
Yes, sir.
So, it was a very, very enlightening lecture. And at the straight away, I would like to say that we should be provided with a proper pamphlet or something, a PDF kind of thing. In fact, you have given us so much that I would like to use it in my classes. I've
Thank
really
you.
I've really come across some new pearls of wisdom from you. There are a few things which I never have known. Maybe because South India is still far away from us North Indians. I would like to make a couple of points, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Uh, First of all, this kind of denigration of Hinduism, as I would put it is not something new. And we have actually seen it in the north also. There is the Dalit party called Bahujan Samaj Party, and at least I've listened to Kashiram's and Mayawati's speeches. They denigrate Hinduism and target Brahmins in particular. And I feel bad about, as far as Hinduism is concerned, I said, okay. But in fact, I myself have Brahminical moorings. I feel bad if somebody says something bad about Brahmins. So they would, in fact, target Brahmins like anything. But let me tell you, your party, BJP, had an alliance with them and ultimately formed a government with them in UP. But today, the net result is that politically BSP is finished, not only in BJP, in UP, but across the length and breadth of Northwest India. The party is really gone because the new blood that has come up, they in fact prefer to vote for uh, BJP and not for BSP. So I would rather, which I have said in a group called Jigyasa, so much to the chagrin of my fellow Jigyasus in that group, that it's better to ignore such people, like we ignore barking dogs. They will do whatever they would like to say. They are welcome to say, but they'll have a few takers. They'll keep on saying, keep on saying, keep on saying, and a moment will come when nobody is going to pay any heed to them. And ultimately, there is a proverb in English: barking dogs seldom bite.
Yes.
So let them go on saying, let Udaynidhi say something, let anybody else say something. But beyond a point of time, because what Udaynidhi has said, I've heard what Kashiram has said, I've heard what Mayavati has said, and they were, I must say, quite denigrating to Hinduism and Brahmins in particular. Hinduism in general and Brahmins in particular. So that was my take, and some people took it otherwise. Said, why are you shielding them? Why are you trying to provide a kind of an excuse? I don't provide any excuse. But let me, and the other point that I had was that given the kind of scenario, BJP had an alliance with the DMK in the past. AI, Tamil Nadu, maybe you may know better. After the passing away of Madam Jayalalitha, I don't think AIDMK is left with any towering personality or charismatic leader. So BJP may need DMK at the center at some other point of time. Karunanidhi had an alliance with Vajpayee's government, and he had people out there. So things should not be stretched too far, because either of the two, AIDMK or DMK, BJP has to choose in the longer run. And you never know what 2024, or rather for that matter, if 2024 is a cakewalk, 2029, what it has to offer. So one should in fact not give much credence to such kind of people. Let them say what they want to say and keep it to ourselves. Of course, this is something not to condone what Udayanidhi has said. This is something not to say, because at least I know about Ramaswamy Naikar. Ramaswamy Naikar's work I've heard, and what you have said. But in fact, I learnt a few things even today, what all he had done. I never knew that he was even anti-India. To hell with him now. Because I just thought he was a Dalit Chintak Vicharak and he could have his say. But this is something I have no respect for Ramaswamy Naikar today because of his anti-national moorings, as you have just disclosed to me today. So this is my take. Maybe other people will have a different take altogether. I would love if you would like to answer.
I would like to just add one point. It was on 4th of September. I saw an invitation in Supreme Court about a program being held in Indian Law Institute, just opposite Supreme Court. I happened to visit that place, and I was shocked and surprised. One DMK Rajya Sabha MP, Mr. Wilson, he was spewing poison against Hinduism, against Sanatan Dharma, and the organizer who claimed to be an advocate, Mr. Malik, he was provoking people, and everybody was clapping, except a few who could just try to raise their voice, but they were shot down. My point is that the venue chosen was there a stone's throw from the G20 summit, and the venue Indian Law Institute is the institute जिसका ये Chief Justice of India is the patron of that organization, and a law minister is the vice president of the, and this venue was given to the organizer to just create trouble in Delhi, and I had to visit twice and thrice to that to meet the director and inform him that and gave him in writing. I have sent you that the reply also what he said. He said, well, we will take care of. So the question is that they are not confined to Tamil Nadu. They have reached Delhi, and they have to uh, just close to that venue where 20 leaders from all over the world were to come.
And recently, I was told a month back, these DMK senior leaders have called students from Jawaharlal Nehru University, particularly those who are from Tamil Nadu. They called them, and they have given them some direction. So they are mobilizing people, as our friend Prabhuji said, throughout wherever possible, outside Tamil Nadu also. This is one. And Kuldeepji was mentioning about the people from outside Tamil Nadu visiting Rameswaram. And we in Tamil Nadu believe, particularly seniors in all the families, once they attain the age of 60, the life ambition is that they have to visit Kasi at least once. That is why even today, people from Tamil Nadu visiting Kasi is very, very high. So Tamilians feel that it is their sacred duty to go and pray at Kasi before their life comes to an end. So this is how they've been doing. Second, always Tamil Nadu and other parts of India, northern parts of India, have deep connections. In fact, now we are studying about it religiously, spiritually, literary wise, and even political wise also. So, if we see the background during the Bhakti movement, it was Tamil saints, seers, who started this Bhakti movement, and it spread across Bharat in those days. Similarly, if you see the saints during this period, Bhagavan Adi Shankara, Madhvacharya, Sri Ramanujacharya, they are all from Tamil region only. So we have very deep connections. We have studied it also, and even when we read, we see the connection between Tamil and Sanskrit, deep rooted. You know, elders say, my own family members, grandparents, parents have told me that even 50 years back in Western Tamil Nadu, I belong to the Western region of Tamil Nadu, they used to teach Sanskrit in matas, Hindu mats. So the children of our people, during holidays, they go and learn Sanskrit slokas. It was happening in all Kula matas. You know, there are different Kulas here for all communities. So it was the Kula Gurus, they sought to it till 1960s that their wards learned Sanskrit also. So there was close connection. All Tamil scholars in those days, till 1950s, 60s, used to be scholars in Sanskrit also. So there is a deep connection, but only thing is the Dravida movement, they want to destroy this. And to an extent, destroyed it. Now we have to revive it.
Good evening, sir. I'm Vinod Johri. It was a comprehensive lecture, sir. Exceedingly, we learned about it. Sir, my impression is that there is some role of Christian missionaries against the assaults. Sir, I have 2-3 questions I put in the chat box. Sir,
Yes,
is it South-centric or is it an attempt to divide North and South? And third, are you satisfied with the response? This assault is getting response across the India. And some impressions I got that Dravid is a geographical term surrounded
Yes,
by
yes.
three seas, and Arya is not a race, it's a culture.
Yes.
So with this background, I need your response, sir. Thank you, sir.
You know, right, first two questions, you are very right. And Dravida is a geographical term. South of India's was called Dravida. Otherwise, it's not connected with race, as they call it. In fact, there is no race at all. It's all Indian race, Bharatiya race only. No race at all. But this is how they claim falsely, and they have created a narrative like this. So now we have to fight these forces, evil forces, and different, our own sister organizations. They have taken up this as a serious issue after the onslaught started a few months back. So we have to fight, and for this purpose, people across Bharat, in fact, outside Bharat also, we all have to join together and defeat these forces, because now Tamil Nadu is an important center for all these anti-Bharat activities, particularly because these people are in power and they have huge wealth also. If you take these DMK Dravidian leaders, all of them are multimillionaires, billionaires. They have amassed wealth in the last 40, 50 years. As a result, now if you take Tamil media, they keep it under their control. No voices are raised against them. Only few newspapers, few media houses give our views. So this is the condition in Tamil Nadu. So as a result, it is our duty for all of us across Bharat and outside to join and fight this evil force.
Rengayan Ratnasamy. Sir, you want to ask a question?
Yeah, sir. Just it's a very excellent lecture given by that Professor Kanagasubhi ji. It's a very thank you. Here, this one more thing is just I want to hear this. Recently attended one international conference, IKS, in Indian Traditional Knowledge System at New Delhi.
Yes,
There, that one professor just explained that the Aryan and Dravidam regarding that. So well said that here is a professor that is a geographical one. So these are all that here is for the people coming from north, you know. They are
Yes.
shifting there for many reasons to the south and from south to north. So there is no that here is a separate race for Aryan and Dravidian. So that University of Arizona, the Center for Holistic Studies, one professor is there. His name is Raj Vedam. So he is narrated so many lecture series are available in YouTube also, Raj Vedam. So he is just deeply here is analyzed and made a research in that aspect. what he has concluded scientifically, so to say, yes, everyone is asking that science-based things. So scientifically, what he has proved that he has just tested that DNA of that all over the India, that
Yes.
what Professor said is correct. No race like that Aryan and Dravidam. Only that Dravidian people in South India, they themselves want to exploit the things to come up with their political gain. They took that here these issues mainly. So here this one thing is here this is submerged in that one. So here this that South India especially during that period of Mughals, so they don't have that here is much affected like North Indian people.
Yes.
So only because of that North Indian people, that kings and rajas and that people, all that sacrificed their lives and resist. That's why that Mughals is not inward into that down south. Here these people are enjoying at that time very comfortably without here this or anything here this or further life illness. So in that case, they are basically very soft in nature. So this particular aspect, this Dravidian movement is came into existence under the Tandai Periyar. So he is capitalized this one. So he is targeting group is Brahmin. Brahmin is that one who is that here is our gurus for us and highly enlightened people. So they are that very soft and they are real Sanatani inclusive policy nature. So these people are only targeted, make use of them and slowly here this inward woman and other things. All these things here this were, these things are here this earlier that all Brahmins here this were that temple, what that here is were the temple pravesam of that scheduled caste Vaidyanatha year earlier to that Tandai Periyar and everyone is just Uve Saminatha here is just here is for Tamil the Tamil for upliftment and all these things. This is purely what that here is were the soft Hindutva or that Hindutva people is to be inclusive policy nature. They're basically all these things are left to the God. If anyone is just here is imposing anything me or that scolding me, that here the people nature in by blood just left to the God. The God only see it like that. That's why the people are exploiting these issues and they make a politicize for the past 60 years. These people now only just try to get the realization of all these things. Who I am. So what is that Hindutva? So now slowly that changes will come up. Definitely it will just hear this were big boom for that now that Hindus. What the pros say that even the third layer DMK leaders
Yes.
or the DMK party cadres himself realizing that here this were we are here is just focused. So that Sanatanam is never end. Sanatanam only that way of life which always exists. The Sanatanam always here this were faced so many things, colonial things and that Muslim radicalism, Christian evangelism, everything. After that here this all these things. Now we are here this were the Sanatanam is stand. So that is not that here is question of no one can come and destroy very easily Sanatanam.
Only one information, Ragainji. We were also attacked by the Islamic forces, but
Yes,
not to the extent of attack in other northern parts of Bharat. You know
Yes,
that
sir.
our Madurai Meenakshi temple was attacked.
Yeah.
So idol
Oh, what?
Murti
Yes.
had to be
Ah.
taken away and then kept it outside for so many years. Similarly, Sri Rangam Vishnu temple,
Sri Rangam.
Perumal temple, it was
Yes,
also
sir.
attacked. On one particular day, 12,000 Brahmins were killed by the Islamist fundamentalists. So we also, this later Tipu Sultan, he also destroyed some of our temples. But only thing, because of the attack was largely confined to the northern parts of the country up to Karnataka. So to that extent, we were not very severely or regularly attacked.
I just had a few questions. They essentially, for the clarity of the audience, which is more or less from the North India.
Yes, Ji.
Sir, if you could just enlighten, what is the response of the general Hindus? I'm not talking about political DMK party members or members of the party which are opposed to BJP, not the cadre or the party leaders, the general Hindu population, how is it receptive to the Sanatana Dharma, anti-Sanatana Dharma comments that are made by the DMK ruling party leaders at this point in time?
Yes.
That is one. And even within the political cadre, I mean, the Dravida parties have a history of having worked and propagated their ideas for several years, 30 odd years before they became a ruling party in Tamil Nadu in the late 1960s. So there is there is an undercurrent that was utilized by them, and the political scenario was such at that point in time that they made utilization of that opportunity to come to power.
As far as the first, I'll start with the second question, response of the party cadre. See, they all know very well. 99.99% of the Hindu population, DMK cadre, they are all temple-going religious people. As I said earlier, almost all the ministers, why I use the word almost, I don't know, because all the ministers, as I know, all the ministers' families, they go to temple. In fact, I have seen some of the senior ministers' houses, residences. When you enter, you will see big Vishnu temple or big Shiva, sorry, not temple, portrait or Shiva portrait. This is there. And all of them, as far as I know, go to temple. Even the top leaders, I should say, many ministers today or the senior party functionaries, all of them go. So, but only thing is, whenever they speak about Sanatana Dharma, whenever the attack is on Sanatana Dharma, that is why generally they don't denote the word Hindu. Even though in Dravida Kalagam, in the September 2nd meeting, Mr. Veeramani, who is the president of DK, Dravida Kalagam, he had said that there is no difference between Sanatana Dharma and Hindu Dharma, both mean the same. But the person who spoke next after him, Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin, he did not use the word Hindu. He used the word only Sanatana Dharma. Why? Because they know fully well. When the questions come, they will say, I don't mean Hindu, all Hindus. By Sanatana Dharma, we mean Brahmins. By Sanatana Dharma, we mean those who follow Varnasana Dharma. Unfortunately, these people do not know the difference between these two, but this is how they use. So even among the party cadres, as far as the party cadres are concerned, they ignore it because they don't have adequate knowledge. They ignore it. And the leaders, I should say, cheat them. See, leaders say that what we mean by Sanatana Dharma is Brahmins. So these people think, oh, they are attacking Brahmins only. It is not us. They attack like this. It is there from EVR days. And some of them connect local incident, also say, okay. So this is how party people say. I have seen, we have interacted with many party leaders. Every day they go to temple. They will come with vibhuti, kumkumam, and ladies and all, particularly you can see highly religious people, but they are senior party cadres. So this is how they are doing. One thing is we have to educate them. We have to educate that the attack on Sanatana Dharma is attack on Hinduism. It is not just Varnasana Dharma as they claim, or it is not against Brahmins as they claim. So this we have to educate. So this is one important factor that all of us Sanatanis should understand. Unfortunately, even when almost all DMK people are temple goers, practicing Hindus, this is the problem. They don't understand this. They take it very lightly. They mean Sanatana Dharma means only Varnasana Dharma. This is how. See, as far as the general public is concerned, Hindu population is concerned, again, similar kind of views exist among them. They also feel attack on Sanatana Dharma means, okay, they may be attacking something that was happening earlier, practice of sati. They associate everything with all ills against Sanatana Dharma only. So that is the reason why very cleverly they use the word Sanatanam or Sanatana. They don't even use the word Dharma, Sanatanam. So whenever questions come, then they escape. but people have to be educated. Again, among the public also, even though they have understood that DMK is against Hindus largely, by the way, they treat temples now, because there are very many temple activist groups that are coming out and bringing out all details. Even though our own organizations also speak the truth about temples, how lootings take place, and how smaller temples are left uncared and all. Now people are realizing, but one important thing that we have to do is, as a society, that we have to educate people. They are ill informed about the usage of these words and what Sanatana Dharma stands for. And we have to educate them that Sanatana Dharma is nothing but Hindu Dharma. These things have to be educated. So it is our duty to do it. So that is the reason why, even though people are highly religious, people go to temple regularly, they take, many of them, majority of them take these attacks lightly. They feel that, oh, it is not seriously against us. One lady member, senior leader, a few years back, one and a half years back, she asked, you see, Durga Stalin, she's going to temple regularly. So Stalin allows all people, you go to Stalin's house, residence, big puja room is there. In fact, it was shown in TV also. Mrs. Durga Stalin was explaining what is the significance of this murti, who gave this statue to her and all. So these people believe, oh, even in Stalin's family, everything is fine. This attack is confined to few aspects that are not suited to modern conditions. So it is our duty to educate them, because all along the textbooks in schools were dominated by their views. Whenever DMK government comes to power, then there will be big chapter on E.V. Ramasamy, Annadurai, Karunanidhi. So that is how children, unfortunately, in government schools are taught. So we have to work very hard.
Vipendraji, you have raised hand. You want to ask a supplementary question?
Yeah, actually, there was a supplementary question because he did mention about propagating the ideas of Hinduism and Sanatana Dharma. So I just want to understand you mentioned that Tamil Nadu has 4 lakh temples.
Yes, 3 lakhs. Yes,
3 to 4 lakh temples,
yes,
and also you under the HRNC department, which is the Hindu religious charitable endowment, about 47,000 temples
46.
Which are the bigger temples in Tamil Nadu, and there are multiple ashrams, religious ashrams, Hindu ashrams, like Siddha ashrams are there, then Adinams are there, then Vaishnava Sampradaya ashrams are there. What is the role of all these religious bodies, these organizations, these Adinams, these GRs and all these people? How do they react? Because I remember when Vairamuthu, the lyricist, filmy lyricist, commented on Andal, there was a huge reaction that happened. Also, this Karpar Kutam, when they talked about this Kandasasti Kavasham, there was a huge reaction from the general public. These religious organizations also reacted. A lot of them came out and did this. When the Sanatana Dharma comment was made by Udayanidhi Stalin, what has been the reaction of these? These are essentially the members of the general public, the common man, institutions which represent the Hindu community.
Yes.
So what is the reaction? That's what I wanted to understand.
You are right.
Sorry, long question.
Yes. No, you're right. We have different sampradayas, largely confined to Shaiva, Vishnu, and then Muruga also. We have one ancient myth for Lord Muruga, Gaumara Matalayam, and we have several myths for Shaiva. And they have huge assets. Lands are there, thousands of acres of lands are there. Similarly, Vaishnava Sampradaya also, we have different heads. They also have assets. Many of them have assets. Of course, their main duty is to protect Hindu Dharma, whether Shaivism or Vaishnavism. Along with that, the second work is promoting Tamil. So, protecting, making Hinduism to flourish through Shaivism or Vaishnavism, basically through Tamil. And that is how they have been doing for the last 1,500 years. Some of the Adinams are very old. Adinams like Dharmapura Adinam, very old. This Dharmapura Adinam, you may be remembering, there is an annual system whereby this Dharmapura Adinam means mud head, pontiff, chief pontiff. So he was taken every year through palanquin. People carry him, and he goes around that area. So last year, after DMK came to power, and this DK group and then communists, they opposed it. But our Hindu groups went and then supported Dharmapura Adinam. After that incident, you may be knowing that a few months back, Stalin himself visited the Adinam. They are running educational institutions, schools and colleges. Mr. Stalin, chief minister, went to the college function, bowed before Dharmapura Adinam, and in that meeting he said, we are all for everybody, including Hindus and all. So this statement also he has made. As far as Adinams are concerned, particularly with regard to Saiva Adinam, I know, because these Saiva Adinams are run by not Brahmins, non-Brahmins, backward class communities, almost all Saiva Adinams. So these Adinams who visited Delhi to present Sengol, almost all of them, except one or two, they all belong to non-Brahmin category. Actually, we should not classify like that, but in the present situation for the discussion, because they are above caste and communities. But to make this point clear, I am saying this. So they all went and presented Sengol. See, so these Adinams command huge followers all across the state. Similarly, in the case of Vaishnava Sampradaya also. So I know that many of these mutts, they have come out with statements, and in some cases they have given interviews to TV channels also, condemning Mr. Udayanidhi Stalin. But some of our own French people feel that this is not adequate. So they should have been more active, more vocal, etc. But I myself contacted a few mutts in and around the western region of Tamil Nadu called Kongu Nadu. So they told me that they have already given interviews, and one Mutt Swamiji, he sent WhatsApp message of that interview also. But some people feel that the response is not adequate. So we have to also talk to them and tell them the significance of these things, because many of our own Adinams, Mats, they are not aware of the political implications of these statements and all. So I think that we have to go and talk to them also, so that they can be more vocal, come forward together as a group. This is also very important.
First and foremost, let me congratulate you, Professor Kanaka Sabhavati. You did a wonderful lecture, and what was most interesting is that you gave an insider's view. What happens is we all perceive certain things and gain our inputs from whatever the media gives us. So I don't know how true the picture, and now we come to know that there are so many dimensions of it which we are unaware of. So primarily, I'm very, very happy that you gave us such a deep historical insight into how this party was formed and how this venom which we are seeing now is more of a political rhetoric and full of hypocrisy rather than what was happening in the beginning. I only want to substantiate what you said about, that educating people. It is very important. You said, yes, you did make a mention of how the missionaries played a role in trying to create the dissensions amongst the people and divisions, and trying to project that education was somewhere we were lacking behind. And actually we had, so if you see Dharampalji's book, The Beautiful Tree, it is based on factual data, which was collected by the British officers at that point of time. And Tamil Nadu is one place, the Madras presidency is one place where they have a lot of factual data which says that the spread of education and the curriculum also at that point of time was much, much wider than what it was in the so-called schools where of Britain, where gentlemen's children were only educated, and it
Yes.
was very much later that the laboring classes were involved, and that too only for religious purposes, so that they are leveraged as religious instructors. So, meaning to say that a falsehood was being spread that how we were discriminatory in our education system, which is not a fact. The people need to come to know at large. But having said that, I want to actually want to know, do you think the freebies culture of Tamil Nadu, giving the kind of freebies that they are, whether it is DMK or AIDMK, that plays a very prominent part in the kind of support that they are able to garner. I do believe that even a person like Stalin, whose wife is religious and they have a temple in the house or deities, adorning their house, they are definitely using it for hypocritical purposes to gain support. But as you said, most of the people over there are also temple going people and instinctively very religious, but yet they support this party into power. Is it also because of the kind of freebies that they are getting over there? Does that play a very prominent role? And I can say for sure that women did benefit from it, and they try to project statistics as to how these freebies are not freebies, but they are egalitarian policies which are actually benefiting the people. And secondly, I also want to make a, if there was a mention by Asad Ahmadji when he spoke about the the Bahujan Samaj Party, which initially was very vituperative against certain sections of society, and then they started befriending and broadening their base, which they called social engineering. And with that social engineering, they thought they would broaden their base, but gradually they are almost, liquidated as of now. So, what I'm trying to ask you is, why hasn't something like this ever been engineered or ever found any kind of, rise in Tamil Nadu? And I totally agree with you that we need to educate the masses and make them see that how they are being self-destructive if they are going to support these kind of people who are against the basics, basic spirit of Indianness. If that is going to happen, then we are not going anywhere. So I would request you just to throw a little light on the role of freebies on the kind of support that they are able to garner. And of course, they have a lot of control. I'm told the media houses are also largely controlled by them.
Yes, yes.
And therefore, the kind of role that media houses can play, you can understand how one-sided the media would be playing a role over there. So
Yes.
all this together, I know it's a very tough job for you, Professor Kanaga Sabapati, not only as an academic, but also as a party leader. It's going to be really tough for you and for Annamalaiji and the rest of y'all who are the real foot soldiers. But I wish you all the best, and I hope you succeed in what you are doing.
Thank you. Thank you for all your good words, Madam Sheila Raiji. You are a very senior professor, and I personally look up to you as a very senior, learned professor. So it's my pleasure and privilege to be with you today. See, as far as the DMK practices are concerned, of course, all along, particularly in the last 20-25 years, they rely on freebies. One, officially they rely on freebies. Second, unofficially during elections, they give funds. They bribe people. And the kind of bribe that they give, if I tell you, it may be astonishing for a person from outside Tamil Nadu. So, few months back, there was a by-election in Erode district, which is our nearby district. So, in fact, E.V. Ramaswamy's brother's grandson, he was his legal heir, but he is now in Congress. He was earlier a union minister also, state president also, Tamil Nadu. His name is EVKS Ilangovan. He contested the election because previously his son was the MLA. He died due to some serious disease. at a young age. So he contested, his father contested, and he won the election. But for every vote, it is rumored, it is suspected that almost 20,000 rupees was given. So this is the kind of money that they plow back during elections. So that is why these DMK people are very, very wealthy people. They have enormous funds. So they not only bribe people through these freebies, they also bribe people during elections. In fact, we have usages like Tirumangalam formula. Tirumangalam is a district near Madurai, in Madurai district. When Mr. Karunanidhi was the chief minister, his elder son, not first son, second son, who was elder to Mr. Stalin, Alagiri, he was an MP earlier, he was union minister also, union minister for chemicals and fertilizers. So he was in charge of southern district. So he wanted the DMK to win at any cost so that he could prove himself as a leader. At that time, there was a tussle going on in fighting between the present chief minister Stalin and Mr. Alagiri. Now, he's not at the forefront. So he wanted to win the election. So he pumped in money. That became a benchmark for Tamil Nadu. It was called Tirumangalam formula. And after Stalin came to power recently, few months back, this Erode, again they pumped in lot of money. They gave what we call these bracelets to girls, children, women, what we call kolusu in Tamil. So these kind of articles were also given. Now we use Erode formula, Erode East formula. So this is how they are bribing people. One is, of course, this freebie. Second one is this. That is the reason why Mr. Stalin gave in his manifesto, there were 505 assurances were given before coming to elections. But he has not fulfilled even 10 of 8. For example, he wanted to he wanted to reduce the diesel and petrol prices. They said their first signature would be for abolition of need. They could not do. They cannot do because it's Supreme Court decision. But this is how they give false promises, come win the election. Every time they are doing it. This time also they have succeeded. With the result, you are very right that the situation, financial situation is not in a good condition. In the last 2 years now, the debt burden has increased already beyond 1,50,000 crores. 1,50,000 crores in just 2 years. Tamil Nadu is largely an entrepreneurial state. People are highly entrepreneurial. That is the reason why we remain even today as the second state in terms of GDP. After Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu is the second state. This is not because of DMK. People are largely entrepreneurial. So that is the reason why, even if we take education, you mentioned that we always say, our gross enrollment ratio is very high. We have more number of schools and colleges, but large number of schools and colleges are owned by private people, largely Hindus, particularly in the last 20, 30 years. Earlier, good in colleges and schools in important cities were owned by Christians, but it is now today largely under the control of the Hindus. It is they who are running it, and running it very well also. But the point is, these Tamil Nadu DMK politicians, they always claim, it is we who gave education. No. Mr. Late Kamarajar, who was once upon a time the All India Chief of Congress Party, unmarried, completely dedicated man. He is a role model in Tamil Nadu. It was he who initiated this grassroots school education concept in the 1950s, 60s. He was there as a chief minister for almost 10 years. It was he who started building schools in Tamil Nadu. After that, during the last 30 years, largely the private people have entered, and as a result today, we have very many colleges and schools, in fact, much more than what we require also. So that is the present situation today. But as a result of these 3 Bs, yes, we are now in a difficult state financial position is in a difficult condition, and you may be surprised to know our TASMAC sales. TASMAC is Tamil Nadu Liquor Sales Corporation. We use the acronym TASMAC. So now these liquor shops in Tamil Nadu are run by the government of Tamil Nadu, state government. Last year, the revenue through the TASMAC shops alone, 45,000 crores. Now this year it is expected to go around 55,000 crores. So every year, every month, the government fixes targets and increase the TASMAC sales. As a result, 25% of the revenue of government revenue for Tamil Nadu state comes through the sale of liquor. So this is a very bad condition. But if the government is being run properly, we can earn adequate income. Why? Because of huge corruption now. Many of the entrepreneurs, you may be surprised to know, are moving out of Tamil Nadu. Now our people from my own region, western region, they have set up their plants, factories in Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, nearby states. They are moving out of Tamil Nadu because huge level of corruption. Corruption at all levels. Official level, corruption is very high. You may be knowing as an academician, senior academician, that even educational institutions, universities, Tamil Nadu has the highest corruption rate. Till the governor appointed by the Prime Minister Modi came here in 2017, all the vice chancellors are appointed by the government after getting huge sums. I remember the going rate was as high as 50 crore, 60 crore for a vice chancellor post. It was an open secret. Good academicians, honest academicians, they refused to apply for vice chancellor post, knowing fully well that they would not get it. This was the system. But only after Prime Minister Modi came to power, after his appointment, new governor was appointed, that too in 2016-17. So only during the last 5-6 years, there is no payment for vice chancellor. But even today, when somebody wants to become a teacher, it's very difficult unless they earn money. So huge corruption is into the growth of Tamil Nadu. Otherwise, Tamil Nadu is a highly entrepreneurial state, hardworking people. It has the potential to emerge as the largest economic power in India. It has the potential. But unfortunately, it is the corruption that is practiced by Tamil Nadu, nurtured by Tamil DMK, and the system that was actually planted by Tamil Nadu, now it is flourishing. It is because of this we are facing all these difficulties. And as far as your second question is concerned, political alliance, as far as political alliance is concerned, now the aim is to defeat DMK, because DMK should not come to power at any cost. It's not just anti-Hindu, it's sometimes, many times, anti-India also. That's why I said, Mr. Raja, who was a union minister earlier, who is a senior minister MP today, he himself openly admitted a few months back that if need arises, we will go for separate Tamil land. Even today they are speaking. And he is an MP. He is a senior leader. He was a union minister earlier. For several years, he was union minister. So this anti-India, anti-Hindu DMK should go out of power. So that is the reason why now BJP has joined with AIADMK, and now this under NDA alliance, ADMK is there. So elections are going to happen under NDA alliance only, with DMK, AIADMK as the leading partner in Tamil Nadu. But BJP has, we hope, will get its rightful place. So this election is going to be between DMK alliance and NDA alliance, with AIADMK and BJP together.
It was a wonderful talk and very good interaction, very good, very insightful questions also. And as we learned a lot from you today, whatever little understanding we had about Tamil Nadu politics and Tamil Nadu society, you added a lot of more, you can say, valuable insights. Considering what is happening, it seems what you are saying is it's more of a political issue.
Yes.
And probably Udayanidhi is also trying to project his career, his image as a rightful heir to Karunanidhi and Periyar's legacy. But unfortunately for him, I think the time has changed. Social media is there. People immediately get to know what a politician is saying, and people also get to know how others are reacting and what arguments are they are giving. So one important issue which has arisen today in the talk and in the interaction is that there is a very strong need to spread awareness about this propaganda, and who are the people, who are the vested interest behind creating this divide between so-called Aryans and Dravid and so-called Hindi versus non-Hindi, so-called Tamil Nadu versus non-Tamil, North versus South. Rahul Gandhi also speaks a lot about it. And we can understand there is a larger design. DMK is only a part of that larger design. And as some of you mentioned, the higher education minister also talked about it, that this alliance intends to defeat and destroy Sanatan Dharma. So the players who are hidden, who are not seen, we need to educate people, we need to enlighten people about those hidden forces which are using tools or puppets like Udayanidhi or Stalin or Periyar or Karunanidhi to create divide in this society. Or even I would say, even the Asad Ahmadji also mentioned about the DSP or other people like these days now Chandrasekhar is there. And there are other elements in Kashmir, in Punjab. We have been seeing a lot of problems emerging in Punjab also. So the problems are emerging from different corners. And there are forces which are not satisfied, which are not happy seeing India rise, India becoming a powerful nation, India acquiring its rightful place in the Committee of the Nations. So thank you very much for enlightening about Tamil Nadu and what is happening there and how we can spread more awareness among people about the issue. And I also thank all the participants for patiently listening to Professor Kanak Sabapati ji, interacting, asking very penetrative, very insightful questions. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sheila ji. Thank you, all the Professor Rajneesh ji, Asad ji, and all others. So once again, आप सबका बहुत बहुत आभार, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.